Well, hey, y'all. My name is William Watson of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. We've been talking, a lot about elections, and I've been talking about how important it is to participate and to participate in other ways than just voting. We saw in 2020 that there were some possible anomalies in the voting around the country, and my thought all the time was that we were on the wrong side of the glass a lot. We saw there was video of windows being covered and the poll watchers were on the outside. Not good. We need people on the inside, on the other side of the glass. So I here in my area, and this particular video is specifically for those who live where I live in Hillsborough County. Um, if indeed you share my concern with what can go on in election time, here are some of the requirements of being a poll worker. We're not talking about a poll worker down at Joe's place. We're talking about a poll worker during elections. I'm gonna read a lot of this. I'm gonna read most of this directly from the website that you can go to. But I told you that I would bring some of the information to you, so you don't have to read it yourself, but you can go there and apply. Okay, it starts. Our poll workers are trained individuals who are active voters, serving their community with pride. They interact well with the public and work well in stressful situations. If you would like to join the team, listen to the requirements and the positions that are available in this video. Uh, Requirements are Hillsborough County poll worker must complete all required onboarding, including but not limited to background screenings. And additionally, effective January 1st, 2021, all new poll workers are required to complete employment eligibility verification of an I-9 and e-verification in accordance to Florida Statute 448.095. Okay, you've got to be a registered voter here in Hillsborough County. You've got to be able to read, write, and speak the English language. Now, I can read and write, but sometimes speaking is kind of tough. Anyway, you also have to be able on those days to work a 14-hour day with patience and courtesy to others. Be able to lift between 15 and 30 pounds. And I guess there's, that's how big like a ream of paper, like a box of paper is. You have to have an email address and access to a computer and the internet. All right. Have reliable transportation. Successfully complete all training and assessment prior to each election. Remain nonpartisan while at the polls. I'm going to stop here. There was early voting. It was the primaries in 2016. A very good friend of mine, who's passed away now, decided that we would go together. My friend Danny, white fellow, originally from Chicago, but I met him in college at Florida State. We were really close. So, and we didn't necessarily agree, right? And on politics anyway. But that's fine. We were still very close. So we go into this polling place over in it's in Tampa. It's over in Belmont Heights, and it's where they're having early voting. And the poll worker, I'm not sure how, and this is why we have to know these things, hands me I had her my ID and everything, but she looks at me like, hmm. And she's sure that she's handed me the wrong ballot. She's sure of it because she thinks that I'm a Democrat because, and she thinks my friend Danny is a Republican. What? You know. Well, Danny and I both laugh hysterically because we're like, no, 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 no. Actually, he goes, no, he's a Republican. I'm a Democrat. And she looked very confused. Now, this is a precinct probably where it is predominantly Black people who come to vote there. Not many white folks probably vote there, but even still, there was probably confusion, and her partisanship just sort of slipped out. She didn't mean it. I don't think she meant anything by it. Uh, but we need to be in these places so we can watch this kind of stuff happen, right? Anyway, um, again, refrain from any comments or discussion concerning a voter's party, preference, a candidate or issue while working at the polls. Please abide by this no smoking policy and treat everyone with dignity and respect at all times. There you go. Training. Poll workers are required by law to complete training prior to each election. Now, if you want to know more about that, you can just email pollworker@votehillsboro.gov, pollworker@votehillsboro.gov. All right, here's some of the positions that are available. All poll workers must complete poll worker training and plan to work their polling place on election day from 6 a.m. until the last voter has voted. Okay. Closing procedures have been completed, and you are dismissed by the clerk. Poll workers will also help set up their polling place the day of before the election. So, listen, if the election is on Tuesday, and they normally are, on that Monday they'll ask you to come in and set up, right? And on election day, you will work from 6 a.m. until the last voter has voted. And then everything's put up. And then the clerk dismisses everybody. Everything's put up. Everything's ready to be shipped to the office. Everybody's good. All the machines are put away. There's nothing left to do. And then the clerk will dismiss everybody, and that'll be the end of your day. All right. Now, poll workers who help set up will receive a small additional stipend. They're going to pay you for doing this. The three positions that are available are these. The clerk. The clerk is in charge of the overall management of the tasks, activities, and poll workers in the polling place. The clerk ensures that order is maintained, policies and procedures are followed, and the election team performs its duties correctly. That may be more responsibility than you want, but it may be the perfect job for you. The assistant clerk assists the clerk and is ready and available to serve as clerk in the event the clerk is unable to perform his or her duties. The assistant clerk uses an electronic poll book to verify voter information and communicates with the supervisor of elections to resolve any voter eligibility issues, which may be a good place for a lot of. The third position is an inspector that sets up and maintains our electronic poll books used for voter check-in and our DS200 ballot scanner tabulators. That's where you put the thing in, right? You have the sheet once you draw it on there, right? It instructs voters on where and how to mark their ballot, and they hand out the I voted stickers. There you go. A deputy, that's the last position, maintains order outside the polling place, assists in marking the no salutation zone ensures compliance with the no solicitation zone and ensures. I told you, speaking the English is hard, and ensures that the polling room is accessible to all voters. That's the person who's outside who says hello when you come in. They make sure that all the people who are soliciting votes are the proper distance away. Okay, I'm not interfering with people coming in. That kind of stuff. That's the deputy. Some of you might want to do that. Okay, here we have early voting. Approximately 25% of our election day poll workers serve in positions during the 2 weeks of early voting prior to election day. Early voting poll workers' assignments require a 7-day work commitment and work days alternate over the 2 weeks of early voting. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, right? But at least 7 days. And I think sometimes we even have Sunday. So it might go Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. But it's going to be, but you work every other day, right? Early voting poll workers must also commit to working on election day. So if you're going to work early voting, you have to commit to working on election day as well. The start and end times vary depending on the early voting schedule, but it's normally similar. It's normally similar to regular voting. Poll workers work until the final voter of the day has left and the end of day duties are completed. Some early voting workers will be assigned to assist with setting up their site prior to the first day of early voting, in the very same way that some people are assigned to helping out prior to election day. All of our early voting workers assist with closing and packing up their sites on the last day of early voting. And when all that's done and you're released by the clerk, you can go. All right. Now you want to know this. Everybody want to know, does this pay anything? Well, it does. All right. Poll worker pay. If you're on early voting, the early voting hourly rate is this. If you're the clerk, person that's in charge, is $17 an hour. The assistant clerk is $16 an hour. If you're an inspector or the deputy, is $15 an hour. On election day, this lump sum, including training and working election day, for the clerk is $391. The assistant clerk, $368, and the inspector or the deputy is $330. Now, if you happen to be a Hillsborough County employee and you're utilizing civic leave, okay, the stipend is for election day $195.50, and for the clerk, the assistant clerk $184, and the inspector or the deputy is $165. Because some people who are watching it already work for the county, and you will get some civic. You can use some civic leave, and those are the stipends. All right. So if you want to know how to apply, go to votehillsborough.gov, poll workers, poll-workers/apply. Votehillsborough.gov/poll workers/apply. And then you can apply there. It's just a 2-step process. It's online, but it's a fairly simple process. We need people to do this. We need people on the outside of the glass and the inside of the glass. This is how we ensure we try our best to ensure that we have fair, free elections. This is really the I believe the missing piece to all of this. And it frankly can't be left up to the parties. It has to be left up to the individual. It has to be left up to the citizens. Well, this is your opportunity. Again, if you're watching this and you're not in Hillsborough County, find your supervisor of elections office and see if you can find out what the process is for where you live. My name is William Lawson. This is an episode of the Morning Report, which is sponsored by fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.